I'm still trying to figure this out. That's interesting. Hmm. That's super cute. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Today is Wednesday. My son's still not feeling well. I'm not losing my voice. It's just sinuses. Um, and I'm trying to figure out today's backpack. I finished 2 bags yesterday, and I can't show either one of them because they're both strike offs. So, yeah, I need to take pictures of those, and I need to make a backpack today. And I want to make a Lord of the Ring bag because there's so many members of the cast that are going to be going to the upcoming convention that I want to make sure that I have that kind of bag. But I am stuck on whether I'm going to make it a Dorian from Swoon. Um, what is the other one? A Dorian from Swoon or an Amber from Georgia Girl Stitch or the terracotta backpack from Country Cow. I'm like either three of these things. I know I can make a design, but I haven't. I cannot figure out which three, and then I have to draw the design. But I know I'm going to do Lord of the Ring today because I was like counting my Lord of the Ring bags, and I only have two. And I typically like to bring 5 to 6 bags, major bags of what's going to be presented there. There's a lot of stuff going on at Awesome Con. There's going to be tons of Star Wars people. There's going to be tons of Star Trek people, tons of Lords of the Ring, and Doctor Who. So it's a really well-rounded sci-fi convention. I know I was going to start my Star Trek stuff next week because I go to a convention again in July. That's primary focus is Star Trek. So yeah, it's going to be a busy weekend. I'm just trying to figure out which one I'm going to make today. Like I want to take my time and really pick a bag, design it to make it super unique. And there's a part of me that wants to do the Dorian messenger bag because I don't make a lot of messenger bags. And messenger bags, when I do make it, a lot of the masculine people tend to pick them out because it doesn't look like it's feminine or masculine. You like so that's a real big thing that I'm always battling. But then I have this idea for the terracotta shape looks a lot like the fly shape, except whenever I make it, that bag sells fast. There's a lot of components to it, but it comes together really beautifully and it's tiny. And people like little backpacks, and I have an idea for it. So I was like, that could be it. But then the amber is like the perfect backpack slash crossbody, and I already have all the leather punched out, and the bag comes together relatively quickly. So I'm just like trying to figure out just one because I cannot wait to show you guys my Harry Potter bag that I made yesterday. Hands down the best bag I've ever made in my life. Um I when I made it, I had an idea of what I wanted, and it was the first time that it came into fruition full force. Like sometimes it comes there like 75%, so I'm happy of what I envisioned, but this came better than I expected. But it is a strike off because there is some hardware on there that's going to be released the first week of June, so I can't show it to anyone at this time. But when I do show it, I'm gonna be like, "This is the bag, guys. This is the bag." Actually, almost all the bags that I made for that particular round for Alchemats, I'm like completely obsessed with. There are some bags I use spike rivets, and I've never used those before, and I'm like now I went outside my and the backpack I made too, it's like solid. I use Lauren's red Lux line vinyl and I keep petting the red bag. It feels like leather. Like there's no way you could tell me if I didn't know it was vinyl, I would have assumed it's leather. It feels amazing. It has a beautiful supple feel. So those 3 bags, hopefully I'll be able to show you at the end of this month or the beginning of June. But they're like hands down my favorite bags. But that Harry Potter one, I made a Brooklyn and it's the shape of the Brooklyn, but how the handle placements, the connectors and everything are completely different. And it is literally, I want to recreate that bag again today because I had so much fun making it. It's a gorgeous bag. Um, yeah, but I'm not going to recreate it because I try to have different bag styles at the convention. The convention is packed. I can't get another table because they sold completely out. So my table's like an 8-foot table. So I need to um, practice on my dining room table of how I'm going to set up all these bags. 8 feet sounds like a lot, but if you have 75 to 100 bags that are not the same, it's it's it can make it look clutter. You need a lot of lights, you need a lot of different things. So Kendall and I are going to practice this weekend to see what kind of setup I want, take pictures so I have something to reference to. And I also have like Hope and Faith with me, so I have 3 different helpers. And I was hoping that I got an end like at the last table at the end. Good morning. I did not get the last table. I'm stuck in between 2 tables, so I need to practice definitely practice up my table settings. That's one thing I do no matter what convention I go to. Once I find out the table size, then I practice with a table of a similar size with gates and cages and cubes and whatever to see to see how I want to set up my table. Be, Awesome Con table is like it's not very wide, but it's 8 feet long and about what did I say, 22 inches wide, 24 inches around that. Um, and you can't have stuff in front of the table. So you only can have your sign on there, but you can have stuff. So I think I might play with bringing a cage and having bags behind us on one side of the table. So that way I can have more of a room for people to see. I've never done that before. I normally stack it really high and I usually pull down the bags. Last year I bought a corner table and I put in for a corner table and I didn't get it because it's so packed. There's so many people coming to this convention. Like, okay, so you have from Lord of the Rings, you have Bilbo Baggins and of course Elijah Woods, and then you have the guy that played Smeagol. So that is big on its own. For Star Trek, we have LeVar Butler, and there's somebody else coming. For Doctor Who, we have 3 doctors coming, and one of them being the most recent doctor and her companion. So we have all these really, really specific genres of fandoms coming, and I'm just trying to make sure that I can showcase my bags the best way I possibly can without them being cluttered. So I play a lot around with lights because the way these conventions are, it's fairly dark in there. They do have lights on, but it's super, it's not as bright. That's why when you go outside, you're feeling like you're dying because your eyes are trying to adjust. It's fairly dark in there. So I have to mess with lights on the cages and figuring out placements. And so that's my goal this weekend and next weekend to practice my setup with Kendall, see what we can do to make it better. Yeah, because that's going to be a busy weekend. And I thank goodness that Kendall got us a hotel that was like you walk out of the convention center and it's right across the street. So that's a big thing because those conventions wipe us. I thought it was just me because I was like, yeah, I'm fat, I'm overweight, so maybe I'm always in the basement, so maybe it's just me and I'm tired. But no, my daughter, she like gets knocked out at these conventions. Like as soon as she walks out, she eats whatever we get from Grubhub, and she has fallen asleep in the shower. She's fallen asleep while she was eating. I'm like, Faith, you have a French fry in your mouth and you're dead asleep. So I'm not trying to do CPR in the middle of the night. It's she's like, no, it's because it's like 10 to 12 hours of pure selling. And the thing is that like the video I did with Lauren, you have to be like kind of genuine into your fandom. If someone comes up to you and be like, "Oh my God, who did you see Ring of Power? Do you think that's Gandalf or do you think that is Sauron?" And you're like, "Yeah, that was a great TV show, Amazon rules." And you're not being like authentic, like, "No, that's 100% Gandalf." uh like, hobbits are amazing. This is why Gandalf always says that they surprise him. um if you're just making bags just to pump them out, people won't get them. I've talked to other people and they're like, yeah, this is really wasn't my fandom. You have to be able to speak the nerd with the other nerds and like pull them into your group, your thing, and so that you can show them that your bags are unique and special and they're not Loungefly. They're one of a kind. You're not going to see somebody else wearing your bag. So you need to have your spill and you need to know, be really knowledgeable about the people that are coming and be authentic. Wear one definitely for Star Trek. I will tell you this right now. If you're people know, like if you don't have the right badges with the right colors, they know and they'll walk away in a heartbeat. So just do your research like anything else in life. Research and you research is key. I want to meet like so many people, but I have my daughters. So what happens is like when I used to go with my friend, her name is Ariel, she's a writer. It was different because she can mandate my booth with like any no problem. I can mandate her booth because I was able to talk about her books and what series that I like. But she moved further away, so she goes to the Pennsylvania conventions and like Massachusetts and all that stuff like that. But with my daughters, no. They'll talk to people and then like Faith, she barely gets cells. She'll talk to people, but like they immediately want to go see everything at AwesomeCon because you can, it's like Disneyland, you could be there all 3 days and not see everything. So they have panels that they want to see, and I'm just like, I'm pretty much going to be chained to my table. Like, I pay for their ticket for them not to help me or to carry stuff or bathroom relief. That's it. So I wanted to do the 13th Doctor. I wanted to I want to see the whole cast of Lord of the Rings. And I wanted to see what Elijah Wood does to stay forever young. I swear to God, he looks like he's 20 something. And I don't know. There's so many people I want to see. Oh yeah, the chick from Guardian of the Galaxy, but she was also the companion to the Doctors. Karen, she's Gamora's sister. She's going to be there too. I always forget her name. And last time I met her at a Doctor Who convention, and she was like the coolest, sweetest person I've ever met. So it's just there's a lot of people. If you go to AwesomeCon and look at the guest list, you're gonna be like, holy, I understand why every table is like out. There's no tables left in Pride Alley, market makers, artist alley, and or vendors. There's no more tables left. Good morning. So it is gonna be jam-packed. The thing I hate the most about AwesomeCon, but I love the most, is they have the best and worst load in and load out situation. All right. So because it's in DC and everything's like one-way streets, you go into this garage and you load in, but they only give you 2 minutes to get your car out. Like I am not over exaggerating. You have to load out and then they have the guys with their like forklift kind of go-kart thing that you hop on and you go with them to the tables. Loading out is horrible. So what I usually do is Kendall comes. This is so ghetto fabulous, but if this works for you, because it works for me, because loading out is panic attack because usually the biggest vendors get to load out first. So what we do is like it'll be, let's say the con ends at 4. At 2 o'clock, Kendall comes and he parks the closest he can to the convention. I have Faith take my badge. This is the ghetto part. Okay, take my badge, and he brings Kendall in because all the guests are gone. So Kendall comes and helps me break down little by little, and he brings stuff up every 2 hours. So we're not doing the parking lot tango. It's what we do because you already know I will go into full-fledged panic mode because it is the weirdest thing. No matter where I've ever vended at, they always let the biggest names, like the people that are not in Artist Alley, like the actual booth mandates, let them go out first. And you're just like, oh my God. And it's not like any other city because there's all one way parking. It's not like you could park and just throw stuff in it. No. So we're he does that. But now I'm gonna have hope because Faith is graduating next year. She'll be a senior in fall. And so when she's doing summer jobs and she's doing more things that goes towards her college education. So it's time to like kind of get Hope into it. So Hope's actually really excited to go to AwesomeCon. This will be her first convention helping me. And she's amped because there's a couple of YouTubers that she really, really loves that make all these gotcha videos. Gotcha is really weird to me. I know that she makes me as a character and everybody else a character. I have no idea really what it is. So I'm not gonna fake the fun. So she's coming and she's excited because there's YouTubers that she watches and follows, and it's her first and it like her first time coming to conventions. But I usually go anywhere from 3 to 5 different conventions a year, and Faith is like my ride or die. She's hilarious because she's really funny to talk to because normally she's on my phone or a tablet, but then somebody comes up and starts talking about something that she's really into, and she's like a natural salesperson. So we have that. So I have 3 major events. So I have one in June, one in July, and one in August. And like I was telling Monica yesterday, they're like anywhere from 35 to 45% of my income for the year. It is, if you think about it, it's 9 days. 9 days is like 30 to 45% of my income because that's how much revenue you get. The more celebrities that are there, the more people want to buy stuff because they're waiting for panels or waiting for like meet and greets. And it's cool because like for me, I get a wave of people that try to buy right now till AwesomeCon because they want to buy my bags ahead of AwesomeCon so they can wear them to AwesomeCon. It's a very interesting thing. It's very fun. Just a little bit stressful loading in and loading out. I feel like no one talks about that. Like breaking down is, it's like you're happy because you're going home, but I don't know. I just can't, like, there was last time me and Faith bought these really pretty fairy lights that went around, and it took us like 3 hours to unwind fairy lights. I was this close to cutting them, and she's like, "Mom, hold on, I got this." Because like we wrapped them around each cage and everything, and it was like ridiculous amount of time to get them off, but they did make the booth more warm and more like inviting. So I'm trying to see what I can do now. I think me picking out black cages was not the best. So if anybody is going to do cons, I do recommend to do like silver or white because there isn't a lot of light in there, and those are like kind of like bags. Like how most bag designers, like they use a white or very light lining because you can look inside your bag. It'll be easier to find stuff. Yeah, don't go black. I know it looks really cool. It does. But when it's really dark. I've never been to a convention that was like full of light. It's because it's one of the ways to keep the environment cooler because there's like thousands of people walking around. So, but I never realized how dark it is until I go outside. Good morning. Yeah, so I'm really excited about this. I'm really honestly yesterday I'm on cloud 9. The makes that I made yesterday and finished yesterday are amazing. I just can't show you guys until the round starts for Alchemats, but I'm telling you, you're going to want to order. I already know I'm going to go for broke. Like everything Olivia made for this round, there is nothing that is not beautiful. She's really, 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 really a genius at making something that the people want and that is super unique and you're not seeing recycled. Everything that in the strike group that I've seen, I'm just like, wow, I'm gonna want this. I'm gonna want this. But that HP, I don't know how she did that. I've never seen anything like that. I based my bag, my Brooklyn bag, off of it, off the fillings that that hardware gave me. And I know that sounds really weird, but I don't know if anyone else feels like this. Have you ever got hardware or fabric, and because of that of it, it inspires you, and you know what bag and you know how what directions and modifications and different things you're going to put on it, because that is what happened when I received the hardware. I was like, I know what I'm going to make. Like at first I was going to make it the Hitchhiker because that's like my go-to, but then I was like, wait, I always forget about the Brooklyn. The Brooklyn is a beautiful bag, and because of that hardware, I got it, and then I start like trying to figure out different things to make it look unique. And I am literally ridiculously happy. That is like my favorite bag because like 99% of my bags, all I see is flaws. That is the first bag I'm like 100%. This is goals. All my bags need to look this good from now on. Yeah, exactly. I prefer like I don't think I've ever just striked hardware. And for this particular round, HP is hardware. There, I don't believe I don't quote me on this, but I don't think there's actual HP in the round, but the hardware is there. And when I got it, I was like, holy wait, because like especially with things like HP and Star Wars, a lot of the stuff is recycled. There's only so many sills you can see. There's only so many house crests you can see, and they all start to blur into one. Somehow, some way, I guarantee you, when you see this, when it comes out in June, you're gonna be like, I understand why Shinova is like fangirling over it because I've never seen anyone have that. I like, and I'm usually searching for HP, Lord of the Rings, Doctor Who stuff. And I was like, holy when I got it, I was like, you will be something magnificent. And there you go. And I really like how I made my Brooklyn. I based it off of a couple different leather bags that have the same style, and I took so much time with edge coating. Um, I think edge coating is important. I know a lot of people don't like doing it, but I think once you start doing it and you can find your rhythm, you're going to want to put it on everything because it makes a difference. Like I had someone asked me with a bag recently, is this all leather? And it's not. It's just because you take that time putting that dense paint on, putting the edge coat, sealing it, sanding it, all that stuff. It makes it look a little bit more high class. You just can't. Exactly. You can't just beat the edge coating on that Brooklyn bag is on point. That was the first bag. I literally took my time. I put everything together and edge coated it one day, let everything set, put the gloss on, and then I started constructing the bag. Everything dried and I put it together, and I love the way that bag is. I have like hair all over my face. Yeah, I think I did the same thing because my Nightmare Before Christmas, I don't think I was supposed to strike that, but I was feeling it so much. I don't know how she does what she does. Like she at first I was like, okay, I don't know. The Nightmare Before Christmas you've seen before. If you looked at her Christmas box that she had for the Halloween one for Nightmare Before Christmas, the reason why I like that print so much, it kind of reminds me of something that Vera Bradley would wear. So I was like, what will Vera Bradley do? So that is my first bag that I don't usually do busy. Busy makes me feel anxiety. I know I say that a lot, but it's like if it's too much, it freaks me out. So when I was making that bag, I made that into the making it bag from Noodlehead and the miniature one. I decided to have busy throughout the whole entire bag, except the gusset was just black vinyl. And I'm so excited that I did it. And I use orange spikes. Yeah, orange spikes. I was like, what? I'm really excited about the spikes. I've had them for like a year. I just haven't put them on anything. Originally was going to go on a Harley Davis bag, but I just could not get it to look right. And you don't want to mess up with Harley Davis. So I just scrapped it and I just had these black and orange rivets and then that were spikes. Then the fabric the fabric came in the night before Christmas. I was like, I know what I'm going to do with you. And that's one of my favorite low key favorite bags because it is super busy and it makes your eye go to different themes. And I went busy even with the webbing, everything, because I felt like if I did all black, it wouldn't make the fabric pop. That fabric has so much going on that I felt the bag needed to have a lot going on. And I normally don't do busy because like it freaks me out a little bit. Good morning. Yeah, dude. But the NBC one is really cool. I don't, I, yeah, because those original spikes I literally got a year ago because I had this really cool Harley Davis bag I wanted to make with the Rosie, and I was gonna have spikes going down that curve they have on the Rosie, and I was really amped. I have it all drawn out, but I cannot cut out the symbol right, and I thought it would not look good as a reverse applique. I thought it would only look good with the applique, like the reverse applique, not the applique on the thing. I wanted the letters cut out on the top and the orange on the bottom to pop through. Yeah, I could not get it right, so I just like kind of scrap it. It's in that bin where I look at it side eye, like it's called Nova's failures. I'm like, I hate you, Ben, but I love you because I go back to it. Um, but yeah, so I had these spikes and I didn't know what to do with it. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, Jack, Jack is white and black and then orange. I was like, it's happening. It's happening. Yeah, I was really inspired by that. Yeah, but that's the thing because normally when I veer away from busy prints, like it's really weird. Vera Bradley Harry Potter is like my absolutely favorite. When they came out with the Crocs from the with it, I was like, I'm buying two. And then they sold out after I bought them. I'm like, I'm buying two. Best decision I've ever made because I love how busy it is. But normally I veer away from her because it's like Paisley, Mickey Mouse, and quilting. It's like a lot. You don't know where to put your eye. Um, this is the first time I ever went busy with busy, and I'm actually really happy with it. Striking. Okay. So there are people that create fabrics, fandom fabrics and fandom I'm trying to see if I have a bag anywhere near me. Fandom hardware. Like you if you've seen hardware that is like Star Wars or like Harry Potter, Doctor Who, Lord of the Rings, Star Trek, so on and so forth, Hero Academy, like they'll have certain Pokemon. There's so many Pokemon ones. They'll have like hardware and fabric. So what they do is they create a team, and the most designers I've ever talked to when they tell me they create a team, they look at people's work that have like touched them and made them feel like some kind of feeling for the bag, and they look for hardware bag makers that are beginning all the way to advanced, and what they do is they send you out samples or fabric to make something, and then you promote it through Facebook, through Instagram, however, TikTok, so that they can get purchases for their pre-order for their fabrics. It's actually quite a fun thing, especially if you're working with a great designer. Um, it's fun. Like I have a lot of fun. My favorite group to be in, and honestly, is Alchemats because everybody's really interactive with each other. We all talk to each other. We're rooting for each other, and there's bag makers, there's people that make clothes, there's all kinds of different like walks of life that makes things that like work from workout wear well to wear it to something like 50s pinup girl. Like it's pretty cool. Um, and basically you're helping showcasing their pre-order, and they usually have an order that's open for like 2 weeks where you could pay for it, and then you'll get the fabric and the hardware anywhere between 10 to 16 weeks, sometimes later if there's delays in China or wherever they purchase their fabric from or hardware from, and then they send it out. It's pretty cool. It's a cool experience to be a strike artist. Sometimes there'll be open calls. Like I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think I always get their name wrong. Rabbit Zombie, Zombie Rabbit, Bunny. So they just had a call for people to guest call where you'll be a part of it for 2 rounds, and they'll send you fabric, you create something, and you promote it for them. It's a pretty cool thing. And then they have different features, like they can get a discount off of their fabric, or there's different features that you can get from different groups. Yeah, it's not limited to fandom because like Black Sheep fabric, she has like the coolest like whimsical forest stuff, and it's like no fandom. It's like mushrooms, leaves, and just like I was just looking at it the other day and I was like, I literally want to make a folk dress out of Black Sheep fabrics material. I like Wolf and Rabbit. She has the best rayon and cotton I ever seen. Whenever I make anything from out of that mushroom fabric, people immediately want to know where the fabric's from. Yeah, that's the only kind is through social media. So you'll see, like I've seen people recently do TikToks live opening of their pre-orders. Um, or like me, I guess if I show you, hey, I got, I'm sewing a Mojo Sews, like, and you go to Mojo Sews, and if she gave it to me as a strike, then you're helping support her business or whatever. This was right by me because I was painting with it yesterday. So, um, zombie, but I don't know why I get that messed up. I'll put rabbit, and it takes me to a whole weird page. Like, a zombie bunny is seriously underrated, and I think everybody needs to be going to their page because they have like the coolest fabrics I've ever seen. Like I got some Alice in Wonderland from them. I got Lord of the Ring. They have a really cool Star Wars. They have so many different fandoms. But and oh yeah, I got what is a hound dog with the fox and the hound dog. Oh my god, I got it in yellow and pink, and whenever I make anything with it, it sells because it's the cutest fabric you've ever seen. Like it is adorable. I don't know much about the person that runs it except one, her packaging is the coolest thing ever. So when you purchase something from her, you get like stickers, and she sends like sometimes squishy things. My kids steal them. I've had a lot, but I've never actually got to squish any because I make the fatal error of opening up my packages in front of my kids. And I have 3 kids, so it's not like I can go into a bathroom by myself and open it because somebody will be by the bathroom like, "What are you doing, mom?" I'm in the bathroom. Okay. So yeah, she has really cool packaging. She ties it up really nice with a ribbon. Every time I get something from her, her packaging is on point. Like hands down she's like the best packager for fandom fabrics or just fabrics in general. So she they have really awesome fabric, and they have a really nice retail. Their retail ships relatively fast too, so I appreciate that because sometimes you buy something because you have an idea of a bag and you're like, I don't know if I could wait six, for 2 to 3 months. If that's the case, wait for retail and then you can get it faster. So that way you can have it. The problem with retail is the price goes up because it's you don't have as many as options. So I always tell people if you're doing stuff for craft fairs or if you're making bags for like a family reunion, pre-order stuff so that you get it at a cheaper rate. But just be patient and forget that you ordered it and it'll pop up in the mail and you're like, oh yeah, I remember. So yes, so Fabric and Hardware is at a limited run. There's some groups like So Girly Fun that doesn't really do pre-orders and everything's retail. So and they sometimes reorder stuff. It just depends on the group and the designer and how many people they have behind the scenes. That is a very, very stressful and time-consuming job. Like I don't think people understand how hard these artists are working to create fabrics and how much they have to do. They get rolls and bins of fabric coming. They're cutting them down. They're folding them. They're double checking to make sure everything goes into your package. They're mailing them out in batches. It's a big process. Yeah, she's a very sweet person. I needed help out because she had a print that I really wanted, and I made the bag with it. And somebody else ordered it, and somehow it did not come out of my Etsy. Um, and I was like, okay, before I cancel this order, let me see if I could reach out to the owner to see if she has it. She's like, oh, I have it. I'll invoice you. She sent it out that day, and I was able to get it in 2 days and make the bag. So, her group is fun too. You can see so many different people like making fanny packs, making dresses, sweaters, socks. Like very, very creative group. Yeah, they do. Some and or like I hate when someone's like, there's not a lot of retail, and I'm like, oh crap, I messed up because I didn't order for pre-order. No, I didn't show any bags today. The 2 bags the 2 bags that I did make yesterday, I like I never asked Olivia when we're supposed to show. And so I'm like going through and I'm like, it's me. She must have said it. And then I messaged her and she's like, oh no, no, no. It's the first week of June. And I was like, oh man, I was going to show them the bags, but you guys will see it soon. It's May 10th before you know, we're gonna be like, oh, happy Memorial Day. Yeah, some shops do. Like, and there's some shops that have like that ordered, like Shannon said, just for retail. So, I, but my favorite place to get retail, honestly, is um, Zombie Bunny. Sorry, I was looking at if I missed anybody's bunnies because so she it ships really fast, and I don't know, the squishy things are super cute. Minus, I get to unwrap it, and then a kid's like yoink, and I'm like, and it's not just that. Like when I open up Catherine's subscription box, for her bag, sew your bag, she has brittle cookies that are from down the block from her. Everything that she shops is woman owned and small business. So these New York brittle cookies are like right across the street from her. She orders them in batches to put them inside the box. They're always phenomenal. Like I want to go to New York and go to the shop just to shop, right? So Catherine noticed when I did box openings, if you watch from the very beginning, the first thing my husband did is he went yoink. And so she puts two in there now for me because she sees that Kindle takes. I'm like, everyone takes the small little gifts in my family and they didn't buy it. They didn't buy it. They always steal something from me. Yeah, the Lord of the Ring maps is my all-time favorite. I also like the one where it's like the black and the little boxes and it just like has like the leaf, Smeagol. What I love that. She has her I love hers and Moonbeam Textiles, Lord of the Ring. They have it on point. Those two groups for Lord of the Ring are my favorite. If there's different ones out there, by all means, drop them in here because I'm always looking for more. so, um, so those are my favorite people for Lord of the Ring fabrics. Yeah. My Erica Bowler bag, Lord of the Ring one, when I get from Moonbeam, sells out every time. I have no more of that fabric. I do need to put in an order with them. They have really nice, like subtle in your face fandom. It's always like their Star Trek and their Doctor Who is really elegant. Yeah, so I know you do. I've never got OSHA at all. I see that they have it. I'm going to probably purchase some after one of these conventions because I see it and it's gorgeous. I got a panel. Someone sent me this really pretty panel, and of course it's not by me, that has like Smog and he's flying around, and it's supposed to be like Lord of the Ring, like it looks like folk art. That's what I was going to mess around with today because it's like unique. And then I have these magnets from, oh my god, Fandera. I will get their name, and else when if I make the bag with it today, I will show you tomorrow and give you the name. I'm really bad at remembering where I get stuff. I want to put like little tags with everything, but sometimes you buy something just spare the moment. Like I made a bag and it was Nightmare Before Christmas, but it was Jack Skeleton, right? But it kind of looked like the anatomy, like the anatomy thing they do for Stitch for the 626 for Backstitch, but it was Jack Skeleton, and it was it was HTV that you did it. And I kept forgetting where I got it because now a lot of fandom groups or custom groups are selling HTV like print-ons that you can put on a sweater or whatever. And I had it on a Erica Bowler bag, and someone was like, "Where did you get that?" I'm like, "It's not fabric, it's a HTV thing." And I could not remember 3 bobbins to save my life until I had to like Google inside my Gmail to figure out where I got it because I knew the time I got it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's 3 bobbins." There you go. Yeah, I know it's like really expensive. I usually when I do these conventions, I try to put 20 to 25% back into the business. So it's actually really fun to me because I love shopping for fabrics. Like in hardware. I'm like, yes. It's really weird. But that's what I plan on doing is probably try them because my Lord of the Ring is The Lord of the Ring Erica bowler bag and the Doctor Who bowler bag are like my two top sellers on Etsy. People, Erica bowler bag is just a good bag. It looks like it's massive, but it's not. It's a perfect everyday bag. That's one of my favorite ones. But yep, I'm stuck on if I'm going to make a Dorian, a terracotta, or an amber bag for Lords of the Ring today. I have this really beautiful moss green from my handmade space. I'll show you. This one, it's the faux suede. It's $15. It's not that expensive. I actually okay. So my favorite, you guys all know, my favorite faux suede is black from my handmade space, but she sells out of it relatively fast. One time I thought I was lucky and I got it, and I accidentally ordered 6 rolls of this green, but I'm not mad because I've been using it for a lot of Lord of the Ring things. So I don't know. I don't know if this feels like a terracotta where I can make it into like looking like a lounge fly, because I have Dorian's. Where'd it go? I have a Dorian door embroidery patch that is amazing and it glows in the dark. I got it from my friend sent it to me from the UK. Most of my patches, I get it from different friends from either in Spain or the UK or whatever. They'll be like, "Shno, we've seen this. Do you want this?" And I'm like, "Yes, sure." I don't know where it is. It's a really cool Dorian door. I just had it. My daughter was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "It glows in the dark." And of course I can't find it. I'm looking for it. That's how it works. But yeah, you'll see it tomorrow, I guess, when I put it on my bag. It's my Crocs are like squeaking. It's Dorian's door, and it glows in the dark, and it's a big patch. Like, it's a nice size patch. Okay, Shannon, you already know. Like, I tell people, charging is a weird question, and I know a lot of people that are bag makers are probably feeling the same. We hate charging, like talking about money. That is the number one question I get. You charge so much, how do you get to do it? I'm like, I charge what I feel like the bag is worth. And you're not trying to say that someone else's bag is not, because most people's bags, I would be like, yeah, you need to charge $1,000. That is a dope ass bag. Oh, here it is. It glows in the dark. I'm going to be doing some weird stuff today. I have 3 bags that I think this will look good on, and I just can't figure out which one. I feel like the amber will be really cute, but it might get lost because this is a bigger bag. The terracotta is not very big, right? And it glows in the dark blue. I'm pretty excited about that. So then I thought maybe a messenger bag, because I have a couple patches. I can make it look like a patchwork one. I haven't figured it out though. This came from my friend in the UK. She finds really weird patches, like when she goes to these local sewing, they have like so many sewing schools out there. And she found this when this lady showed her patchwork, and she sent me one. I was like, you need to get me more. you need to like be a good friend and buy me some more. She's the one that I get all the Star Wars patches from too. And then my family in Spain they always send me Star Wars. Like, the Star Wars fandom in Spain is real. Okay, you'll be like, patches from the UK. Yeah, so she sends me all my patches from the UK. I have one that does one in Star Wars. In Spain, my family also sends me cork from Spain. That is really interesting, because people are like, where did you get this cork? And you're like, you don't want to say a gift because sounds like it's not genuine, but one, it is a gift because I'm not paying for it. 2, because Spain harvests like the the Portugal trees as well. They have their own people that make cork fabric. Like, there is this really cool video that my uncle sent me about them using like coconut shells and making sandals and shoes out there. And it's just a different setting. So like, I get when my uncle goes to certain, not conventions, like I guess like farmers markets, they sell cork, and he'll be like, do you want this one? I'm like, yes, please send that to me. So, hello, Lynette. So yeah, I like my favorite pen pals. like the person I met for this that made the patches was during a pen pal during for another YouTube. They had a Christmas one where you get to have one person from the state versus another person from another state, and you swap Christmas gifts. Just me and my pen pal, we talk more. So whenever she sees anything Lords of the Ring out there, she's like, "Here you go." I'm like, "This is the best package ever." And I and Intel get her patches from Star Wars and Star Trek. So, but she got me some really cool patches. But I know that there's an embroidery file on Etsy that has this, but I don't know if it glows in the I don't know how to make glow in the dark patches. So I'm assuming it's the thread. I don't have that. So, and I suck. I want my embroidery machine. If you watch me embroider, you will have a panic attack because like I'm like helicoptering it, like don't skip a stitch, don't skip a stitch. And I want to do it because there's so many cool files out there. Like if you follow Create Joy always, she has the coolest Ahsoka like quilting embroidery file I've ever seen in my life. I don't know how she comes up with her things. I want to get it, but I feel like I'm going to fail. I'm not the best embroiderer. You glow in the dark thread. Yes, so creative. Like, you need to see her Ahsoka one. She striked for Notorious, and Notorious has this amazing Ahsoka panel, and the outside of the print looks like regular vinyl, except it's Ahsoka's marks. Well, this backwards the other way, all over. And I'm like, I want to get this, but I'm gonna have 100 jump stitches, and I'm going to lose my ever loving mind. So I rather pay someone to do it than embroider. I suck at embroidery. I'm just like impatiently waiting, like bad. I'm really bad at it. And jump stitches drive me nuts. If some, and my machine doesn't cut jump stitches, so I don't know. Embroiderers are special people to me because jump stitches like make me want to Hulk smash. Like, take my embroidery machine. Yeah, you have to have some serious patience. And just like there's so much testing with tearaway, this kind of stabilizer. I'm just like, I can't. I just can't. I literally can't. And again, if you have a more advanced embroidery machine with no jump stitches, it might be more nice. But my brothers, it doesn't cut jump stitches. And I'm just sitting here like, I'm tired of cutting strings. So tired. And then I don't know. I like the 10 needle one. I have a couple friends that have it, but I don't have it. My voice is going in and out. Yeah, I have never made the 85% Erica Bowler. I actually had questions to Monica, and had asked Lauren, because I didn't know what size width that they made the panels. My Erica Bowler's always at 100%. It's not a big bag to me. I've had Faith model it, and she's very petite, and I just think it's a nice size bag. Oh, it could melt or disappear when you iron it? What? I made this patch and it all disappeared with the thread. Okay, I'm gonna sew it on. I'm not gonna iron it on because I'm using vinyl, but that would suck. I will be like, I spent 17 hours on this embroidery patch for it to disappear. Oh yeah, So Sweetness is Cork that's who my go-to person is. She has a fair price and they ship incredibly fast. They're in that little square roll. She's my favorite person to get cork from. My other one is my Handmade Space because it comes in a nice box. I love the way she packages stuff. And then of course I always get stuff from Emmeline. If I order from Emmeline, I always get cork from Emmeline. But most of like so 25% of my cork though is all for my family in Spain. Like there was a white like birch tree texture to it, and people were trying to figure out where I got it from. And I kept saying I got it from my uncle, but like nobody was listening to me. Majority, my dad's side of the family all live in Spain except my dad and his kids. They all, like my dad's first generation. No, I'm first generation American on my dad's side. They all live in Spain. So I did not know that. That's freaking Can you imagine like putting like a couple hours into some patches and then you go iron them onto something and boop, they disappear. That sucks. So do you like have to test the thread first? Do you like iron it to see if it disappears before you start embroidery? Because I'm that's what I'm thinking. Yes, I okay, so my I love ordering for So Many Creations. I did not find So Many Creations until So Magical, November of 2022. That was the first time I knew who she was. Incredibly kind, incredibly sweet. She has really cool templates. If you're looking for templates for turn locks to make sure you can cut them out the hole big enough, she has like amazing templates for that. So when I met her, I bought this really beautiful floral print, and this time um I bought that pink print that I made for my hinterland, and then I went and bought. She has a Starry Night that she designed. Holy, I'm going to make it into a Doctor Who thing, but I'm just trying to find the right um like hardware for it. Like I thought it would be really cool as a messenger bag. That Starry Night is stunning. It is absolutely stunning, and I'm like afraid to sew with it because I've never seen anything that comes close to that. I was gonna put like a big yellow flower, sunflower, and then like some other patches from Doctor Who on it. So now I test threads. That sucks. I can't like, hey, this is my glow in the dark iron gone. I would be upset. Like seriously, I would be livid. That I mean, I get it because it's like I don't know. I always wonder. I don't know. I okay. So I have never when I get glow in the dark from backstitch, I always usually do like a glue base. Like I don't put heat on it, but I'm curious if I put heat, will it like just come back and glow or whatever? I don't think I ever put heat on them. I usually just like glue. Whenever I have vinyl that I like is my precious and I don't want to put heat on it, I do like a glue thing. Oh my God, Lynette, don't promise me that because you I will be messaging you like I need. Okay, it could take the heat. Good to know. Lynette, I'll be like, I need all the Lord of the Ring patches in the world and maybe some Doctor Who. Yeah, this is my favorite. I seen this similar to this on Etsy where they sell the file, but there was a person in Ukraine, I believe, that sold like a 9 by 11 of this, and it's like incredibly, it's expensive, but look at the work. I mean, it's not a cheap thing to do. It's like, and they put it on the back of a denim jacket. I was like, what? I didn't know I needed this, but it's a long time since I wore a denim jacket, but I might bring that back for this patch. You have a lot of patience because the only time I embroider is Sally Tomatoes. So Sally Tomatoes has a New Year's Eve bash with sulky threads, and I always go to this, and I always bring out my embroidery machine, and I'm like side eyeing it the whole time. But that's the only time I really embroider is during the New Year's Eve because it's fun. It's a weird experience. Like you're live with Sally Tomato and live with Sulky at the same time, and they have all these cool door prizes. But this is how I actually met a lot of people from out that are not in the US. And then you become like kind of pen pals, and I have swap partners that like patterns that they only sell in the US, and then I'll get different patterns that are in different countries from whatever. It just I got like a lot of cool I like cosplaying, and I was looking for this chemise, but the only where I seen this the the pattern, it was all in French. Oddly enough, I have a pen pal in Paris, and she's like, "No, they come in English." And I'm like, "Not out here, they don't." So we swapped. I got her some cosplay Vogue ones that she couldn't get, and then we swapped, and I have now a really cool chemise um, pattern, and it's like really cool because it doesn't look like the fold out one. It's like it's in this like weird clear binder thing, and you follow the pages and all the measurements and how like all the math is on one page. It's like it's very cool, very very cool. And I'm just like, this is amazing. Yeah, get pen pals in different countries. It's super fun. It will help save your life. um, yeah, definitely, Lynette. Because like I've been using patches on everything recently. That's my favorite thing to do. Yeah, her So Many Creations. If you haven't looked at her quirk, you should. Every time I go to her, when I went to the Texas or whatever, I like. it's like floating towards her merchandise. She has some seriously unique cork, like seriously unique. And the corks that always call to me are the ones that she draws, and she makes designs on cork, and they're always gorgeous. She does beautiful work, and her patterns are fun too. I have a it's a Brothers 3600 ND. It's a single needle. The biggest hoop I can go to is 8 by 11. But like I said, I'm really like if someone asked me to do like, I have a really cool embroidery file for Black Panther, and I sometimes occasionally do that, but most of the time, I'm telling you, once a year during the Sulky and Sally Tomatoes thing. Yeah, someone would had that at one of the conventions, that machine, and I was like, can I just touch it? Like the first time I ever seen a huge baby lock was at in a class. I was like, oh my god, that is massive. So yeah, that I like all of them. You need to make the Erica. Oh yeah, make the Erica. I always tell people make it at 100%, and then also if you want to do 85%, I think Lauren has like a tutorial on it, and I know Monica did a tutorial where she did it on her free arm. I've always made it at 100%. It's not like a very big bag. It comes together fast, and maybe because I made so many of them at this time, like you could assembly line those bad boys. They come together really fast. And the binding, I got better on binding because of that bag, because it's not huge curves. And then I started playing around to see what I like, how I like binding. Like I want to make another one and try. Somebody told me they use like something like the fabric tack, or there is a tape that you put on and then you iron, and it permanently fuses it on. And I was like, I think I want to try this for binding. So that is my next thing. I'm always looking how to improve my binding method better. And I love the double-sided tape one version, but I'm really intrigued on this ironing, this fusible. It's like it's not fusible web. It's like a steam thing. Like you put it on, it has a temporary stick, and then when you iron it, it becomes permanent. And I'm like, I really think this might be really good for binding, because like you could put that fusible tape on one side, iron it, and then bring it inside, put that tape on, and then iron it as well. I'm trying to figure that out. Yeah, Lynette, you need to, if you have a business for patches, you need to promote that, because I'm not the only one. I think patches are super in this year. I don't know. Just I say go for it. They're my favorite thing. If I don't have a magnet or hardware for it, then I can put a patch in. You get that like rustic feel, live and feel, very campy. All right. Well, I am going to try to figure out which bag I'm going to make with this. I'm kind of leaning towards the Dorian with modifications, so we shall see. I will show you guys tomorrow. And I'm going to take care of the Bambino because he's still not feeling 100%, and just hang out with him a little bit today and sweep. I need to sweep. I made such a string mess, and I haven't swept yet. I'm just looking at it on the floor like I think the Zumba would just die because of all the thread. All right. Well, I hope everyone has a really good day. Stay safe and happy sewing. Bye.